Welcome back to Hippie Bliss Travel. Today we're spending the day in Big Sur, and this was a nice surprise out of the patio at the lodge, the Big Sur Lodge. We happened to have the door open, and I heard some crackling, and I thought somebody was just walking behind there. Looked out, saw one deer. I was like, "Honey, there's a deer out there." Thinking it was just one, but when we got out there was a few more. It's a pleasant surprise. We started that morning down at the restaurant at the Big Sur Lodge. We had breakfast down there. And it wasn't a big selection, but they had a few choices for breakfast. And dinner was wonderful. And it wasn't that breakfast wasn't bad, it was just more underwhelming, I guess. We got some croissant sandwiches that had like eggs and bacon, and then we had a little bowl of fruit. And it was all right, but it wasn't fantastic like dinner was. And then down at the lodge, there's a trail here. It's across the street. So we thought, hey, we'll start the day with a little hike up this trail, see where it goes. We knew it led to a waterfall. And once you start up it, it is pretty much uphill for a while.
Where I'm standing,
Uh
there's
huh.
a little bit of mist in front of the arch tree,
Uh huh.
and then one branch is casting a distinct shadow on the mist.
I mean, look at how green.
Did you see this?
Which one?
Fun? With a whole other tree that we grew on top of.
Wow.
Like it just started over.
We were going to head to the falls, but as we come up into the next picture or so, that they had blocked it off. And so we had headed the Valley View Trail, and that led to a waterfall. So I don't know if the waterfall and the falls are the same thing, or if it's two completely different things. It was a nice hot day. It was sunny, but it was still kind of early, so I'm glad we did this one kind of early before it got too hot. On the way up, we passed just a few people, but coming back, there was quite a few past, several others. And they all asked the same thing, uh, how much farther to the top? Because it is a good half hour where you pretty much just going, not straight up, but pretty much. And this is kind of when you get to you crest the top of the hill and you can look across the valley. There is a house there. But this is where it starts to level off, and then you come back down and it leads you to the waterfalls. And at this point, you can pretty much start hearing the waterfalls. Can't really see them at the moment. And then you get to the stairs. The waterfalls is at the top of the stairs.
Floor 31 floor.
And then we headed back down to the trail, or to the trailhead. We just came down that hill, zigzag down. And then once we got right back down to the lodge, there was the river path, which is right next to the lodge. So while we were still here, we figured, oh, let's go take a lap around and check it out. This one's much more level. There's not really an elevation. There are some steps involved, but not, I mean, nothing like we hiked or anything. Yeah, there's a bridge covering the river on one, basically on each end. So the trail is, or the river trail is just down, cross a bridge, and come up the other side to the other bridge. But there's two different types of bridges to cross. This is your traditional bridge at one end, and well, we'll see the other one in just a minute. Yeah, there's the road up there. There's more signs, but looks like it's for the either the biking or. I don't know if you can see them. There's two stones, stacking stones next to each other. And here were the stones that I was pointing out in the river that were little stacks of stones. Yeah, this walk is very easy, unless you're, like in a wheelchair to get up and down the couple steps on the bridges. But this was the second bridge. It was kind of like concrete steps in the river. Kind of cool, interesting, and I love the root ball on that tree. But yeah, you just kind of walked out. This was the from in the middle of the river on the concrete. Yeah, the area seemed to have a lot of history, in the area. It's kind of interesting to read. And then there was some artwork. I'm assuming it was by kids, and they kind of lined one of the walkways, talking about how great nature was and conservation and stuff like that. So we stopped, took a few pictures of the photos, and there was a lot more than what the pictures I took. And when we got done with the river walk there, we got in the car and headed south. We're gonna go hike another spot, and as you noticed, that this day is a little overcast and cloudy at least in the morning. Yesterday we did the same drive in the last video, and I even stopped at the same spot here. The day before, sunny, not I don't even think there was a cloud in the sky. Today, a little more cloudy, a little overcast, and it was hit and miss all the way down to where we were going to go hiking. Well, this is where I think we're headed. See some people sitting on rocks way down there. That is where we came from. And it looks like we're heading down a steeper hill. Oh, isn't it? And when we started down this trail, we didn't realize there was like two branches. We just thought we were heading straight down to the big rocks in the water there. But then there was a trail that also went off to the left when we got down toward the bottom. So us, got to go see where it goes. So this had a little more shade for a little bit, and we crossed a bridge and went through a tunnel.
I don't smell anything. How funny.
Well, the flowers or whatever it is out there smells amazing.
It smells like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I was expecting to go down to that other cove.
Still goes. It might wrap around.
It looks like there's a, no, it looks like there's an end. It's like, and yeah, I put the sunglasses over the camera for a minute because when I was looking through them, the water looked more like had a greenish tint to it. And if I take my sunglasses off, I wouldn't have that. So I was just seeing if I held my sunglasses up, if it on camera it looked a little more greener than it had a greenish blue look than it did without my sunglasses, because that's what I was seeing. I don't think it worked. I think it looked the same, but you never know. Look at the foliage on the side of the...
What?
The foliage just going down the rocks. It's almost like it's covering the rocks.
It's going into the rocks.
Oh, it's going into the rocks?
And while it helps to stabilize the soil, at some point the roots will push it apart enough that those rocks will fall in and that seed cave won't exist.
Yeah, there's one over there.
I mean, that's a cave too at the end of the cove.
Yeah. That's it's going to go far enough under there. But it's got a ways to go.
You might be low tide. But this could be low tide. Or high tide. Water slamming up into that cave.
Very true.
They don't have, we don't have service to me to run down if they're very high tide.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the end now.
Barely could see without my glasses.
There's where the water flows in. I heard that last one, but it was to my back.
Like these kind of fields. Oh, here goes one.
Okay, I know this is not a beach we can walk on, but how'd I do?
Every spot we stopped on the PCH with the fucking postman.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yep.
Wow. You got that one right?
Yeah. Double checking. Yeah, it's on. Oh. It crested just a hair before.
Alright, it broke just before it reached shore. It would have been a
So we headed back, or started heading back toward the hotel after the hike up. Now we knew we were going to be hungry, and we knew from the last video that in Big Sur, your dining options are kind of limited. Well, there was a restaurant we passed coming down when we drove it by yesterday and this morning, and the parking lot was packed, and it looked like a big parking lot. So we figured, on the way back, we'll stop by and give them a try. Glad we did. Yeah, the parking lot was full, but there was like a graveled parking area down along the road. They had actually multiple, one, two, three parking levels. So then we just walked up the driveway. Yeah, this actually has three levels. On the first level or ground level is like a gift shop, and then the second level was a cafe, and I was gonna go down and take a peek and do a little filming and maybe get a picture of the menu of the cafe after we ate. And it was open when we went up, and then when we finished and we were coming down the stairs, they had closed for the day. But when we got to the top level, yes, there was a wait, but you didn't mind it because these were your views, and you got to walk around and take pictures and you know, get a fantastic view in while you waited. And even though we waited, it was worth the wait. The quality of the food, oh, the food was fantastic. It was almost like a little California twist on it, but our appetizers were like smoked salmon and they had homemade soups. Yeah, sandwiches. I mean, everything was fantastic. It was one of those, it's worth the wait for the quality of food you got. And this is a little peek inside. And a nice warm day. It was nice to sit outside. Even it was, covered in shade and stuff. Some of the artwork when you went to the bathrooms and stuff. And then we did go downstairs and checked out the gift shop too while we were there. And this was the cafe I was going to go take a peek at when we got done eating that had closed while we were upstairs eating. And yes, the gift shop. We did take a look around. We didn't buy anything, but we're to the point now is if I buy something, where's it going to fit in the house? Or I got to get rid of something to get something to bring it in. So that's why we stick with our magnets. But it was a very interesting gift shop. This is part of the
View.
deck off the gift shop.
Hey, look, there's our car.
I'll buy it a little lonesome. After we got back to the lodge, I did go down and enjoy the pool for a little bit. It was nice and refreshing. A little chilly, but nice. So here we are in the what do you do when you have no TV, very limited internet.
What?
And so my husband carries a cribbage game, so we just finished the great cribbage off. I skunked him first game, he skunked me second game, and I just barely won the third game. So yeah, always carry a little cribbage board or some game or something to do every now and then in the hotel.